Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm very excited to announce that the next few weeks I'm going to be sharing with you new Indian sweet and savory recipes that you can try out during this Diwali. This week I'm going to be sharing with you an amazing recipe that I love to indulge in every Diwali. It's none than some Nankhatai. If you don't know what Nankhatai is, so it's basically an Indian shortbread or a cookie that's usually flavored with some cardamom and topped with some sliced pistachios or almonds. But what does Nankhatai mean? It's such a funny word that probably nobody knows what it actually means. So Nankhatai is actually derived from a Persian word, naan, which means bread, and katai, which means biscuit, and that's where Nankhatai comes from. Nankhatai is also commonly found in Afghanistan and Iran. It's known as kulcha-e-katai over there. Kulcha, which means bread, and katai, which means biscuit. Again, that's a common way of how Nankhatai is called. There are so many different ways on how Nankhatai can be made, but commonly in households across India, they're either made with all-purpose flour alongside with some besan, also known as gram or chickpea flour. Alternatively, some households also use wheat flour instead, which makes the Nankhatai more healthy and you can enjoy them guilt-free. Since so many people today are very conscious about their health and are trying to avoid using all-purpose flour, I've decided that I'm going to be sharing with you a recipe using wheat flour instead, which means that it's super healthy and I promise you can enjoy without feeling guilty. Apart from the flour, Nankhatai can be also made with a lot of different ingredients. Some people use oil, some people use regular butter, some people use white butter, some people use ghee. Since Nankhatai is a traditional recipe, I've decided to stick with ingredients that you probably found back during those days. So I've decided to go ahead with using ghee. But if you're vegan and you can't use ghee, I would suggest you can use oil or you can use vegan butter to make this Nankhatai recipe. These Nankhatais are such an integral part of Indian cuisine and you can find them around the world. They're such a common thing and you can identify them with a cross mark over the biscuit, and they're usually topped with some sliced almonds or pistachios. This Nankhatai recipe is very simple, easy and straightforward, which means that anyone who's trying this for the very first time can easily make it at home. I'm going to be sharing with you some tips and tricks along the way to ensure that when you make this at home, it's going to come out as a success. So without further ado, let's get on with this Nankhatai recipe. Click the link in the description box for a full list of ingredients you require to make this recipe. You want to start off by sifting your wheat flour alongside baking soda into a bowl. You want to ensure that there are no big particles left. You can use a spoon to help you do this. Next, add in cardamom, nutmeg, salt, and using a spoon, now give everything a good mix. Once you've mixed all the dry ingredients, you can set it aside. Next, into another bowl, you want to add in your cold ghee or clarified butter, along with some sugar. Now using a whisk, mix everything up until it's light and fluffy. This might take a minute. Make sure you don't overdo it nor put too much pressure, as this will cause your ghee to melt and this will result in flat Nankhatais, so please be careful at this stage. This is the exact consistency that you should expect. Next, you want to add in the vanilla extract as well as yogurt before giving it another good mix for about 20 seconds. That's the exact consistency that you're looking for. Next, you want to mix your wet and dry ingredients together. Using a spoon, now combine everything together. As you keep mixing, you'll realize that your mixture is becoming crumbly. You'll also notice your mixture becoming dry and a bit difficult to mix, but don't worry, this is exactly what we're looking for. Once you've well incorporated the wet and the dry ingredients, now add in some milk. You just need a bit of milk so that you can bring the dough together. Once you add the milk, the dough will no longer be crumbly and you'll be able to bring everything together. Make sure to add a bit of milk at a time, as you don't want to overdo it either, because if you put too much milk, your dough is going to become very wet and it's going to be difficult to bring it back. Once you've formed a nice dough, now put it back into your bowl, cover it with a cloth and refrigerate. Once your dough has been refrigerated, now it's time to shape them into round balls. You need to split them equally into 20. You can use a weighing scale to help you. Each ball is going to be about 20 to 25 grams. When shaping the balls, you want to ensure that the exterior is completely smooth with no cracks at all. If the balls are going to have any cracks, when you bake the Nankhatais in the oven, they're going to break and fall apart, and you don't want that to happen. So make sure your balls are really smooth, round and nicely shaped. Now repeat the same step for all the leftover dough. Once you're done, refrigerate again for a while to ensure that the ghee solidifies before shaping them. Once your dough has rested, now take each dough ball and press gently with the help of your fingers. Flatten it a bit and using your fingers, create an indentation in the center, exactly like that. Now repeat the same steps for the rest of your dough balls. Make sure to give enough space between each Nankhatai as they're going to expand in the oven as well as flatten out. If you don't give the Nankhatais enough space, they're most likely going to run over each other, and guess what? No one's going to enjoy those Nankhatais. Make sure you don't make your Nankhatais too big because they're going to flatten in the oven. Once you're done, now it's time to create the iconic cross mark at the center of each Nankhatai. Just look at that Nankhatai, doesn't it look pretty? Once you're done, you want to sprinkle some pistachios over your Nankhatai on the cross mark. You could also use some almonds if you want. Once you're done, gently use your fingers to press the almonds and pistachios in so that they stick onto the Nankhatais. Now ensure you refrigerate before you bake them in the oven. Once you've baked them until light brown, they'll be crisp on the outside and golden brown from the bottom. Now let it cool at room temperature before serving it. Just look at that Nankhatai, how delicious does that look? I really can't wait to have a bite. Don't forget to store it in an airtight container so you can enjoy it whenever you want. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and I hope you get a chance to try these Nankhatais out during this Diwali. If you like this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I shall see you again with another exciting Diwali recipe next week. Do you want to know what it is? Well, come back next week. Bye.